Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it has been a hot minute since I have filmed a sit-down video. For January, I got all my videos done like way in the beginning of the month because I had free time when I was on winter break, and then I just uploaded them like throughout the month. But if you can hear my dogs in the background, I'm sorry. We have them like locked in the room so they don't bug, but for this month I have yet to film anything, and it's already February 11th. I have been so busy with everything in my life, and if you want to see kind of like what I've been doing, make sure to catch up with my daily vlogs because that will kind of give you an insight to my daily life. So anyway, today I am starting my new February, I was about to say challenge. It's not a challenge, it is a theme. Last month I did videos all about how to kind of improve yourself to make yourself a better teacher. This month they're all going to be technology related videos, which I had mentioned in a vlog at some point, so you may have already known that. So my first video this month is going to be my top 5 websites that I use in the classroom, and I'm going to just explain how I use them really quickly, and then a couple of them I will be talking about in full videos later this month. So my first favorite website is Screencastify, and technically it's not even a website, it's actually just an app. It's like an extension on your Chrome browser. I'm assuming you could probably get it on like Macs and stuff like that. I don't know if you could do it on like tablets, but I know I use Chromes in my class, and I use a Chrome for a lot of the schoolwork that I do, so Screencastify works on the Chromes. I'm not entirely sure if it works on the other ones, but basically it is an extension to where you can film your screen of your computer and you can have your voice on there. You can also film yourself. I have yet to try that, but you could film yourself. It is a completely free extension so long as your video is not longer than, I believe, 10 minutes, which I've never had an issue with a video needing to be longer than 10 minutes. I use them for quick little just videos for my class, and then like students can access them like as many times as they need to, which is really nice. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that, only because I am going to do a whole video on Screencastify and the ways that I use it, and then the ways that I would also encourage other people to use it. Like I have a ton of ideas of the ways, or I have a ton of ideas on ways you could use it. I don't even use it those ways, but I have a ton of ideas like of just ways you could use it in your classroom depending on if students have their Chromes at home or, you know, whatever. But basically you're able to film videos so that your students can watch them, and then it saves you time in other places. So for example, I use it for my spelling test each week, and I film my spelling test. I just film myself reading the words, and then I send it to them in the classroom, and then they are able to take their spelling test on there, and it's so much quicker, and then I can be doing other things while they're taking their spelling test. And then I also have 3 different levels of spelling words in my classroom, and so I'm able to, you know, get everyone done still in one shot rather than having to read out 15 words 3 times, which would be really, really annoying. And plus I have it all saved now for next school year, so next school year I won't have to do any work because I have all the videos saved, which is really nice. I also use it in like small group stuff, so then I might have a group where they're working on a video where I'm teaching them something, and then they're working on something, and then I've got a small group working with me, and then I can also teach them something. So it basically makes it to where I can be in 2 places at once, which is really, really nice and very convenient. My second favorite website is one that I use both as a website, but I also print stuff off of there, is ReadWorks. And if you never use ReadWorks, I feel like everyone and their mother uses ReadWorks in their classroom, but if you've never heard of ReadWorks, it is basically just a huge bank of articles and stories and stuff like that that you can use with your class. I don't use the literary ones, the fiction ones very often. I pretty much stick to the articles that they have on there because I use them for close reads a lot of the time. But basically you can print off the article, you can print off questions that go with it, or you can also go on there and assign articles to your students. It's completely free. You can go on there, assign them an article, they can answer the questions right on there, and then it'll grade the ones that are gradable, that aren't like a short answer one. You'd have to go back and grade those yourself, but the ones that can be graded by the computer, it will grade those for you. And then you can, it's also nice because you can differentiate between students. So I can assign a first grade article to my students who may not be as strong of a reader, and then I can assign second grade articles to my students who are, you know, at grade level, and then assign third grade articles to my students who are far above where they should be. And then nobody has any idea that they're doing different things. It's just like everyone's working on a ReadWorks article. It's super, super nice. I use it in my guided reading centers, not at like my center, but my literacy centers during guided reading. And the kids like know they have to go back and find their evidence. Last year I did a lot more of assigning them on the computer. This year I do more of just printing them out and giving them the questions and stuff, just because I just felt like it was quicker. I have to go on to ReadWorks and check them if not, and sometimes I just don't always have time, and it's easier for me just to like glance through their papers really quick. So that is something I want to get my kids doing this year a little bit more, but so far I've just been printing them. And then I also print the articles for my close reads each week as well. My third favorite website for the classroom, which I feel like is another one that everyone probably uses, and that is Prodigy. Oh my goodness, like you would have thought Prodigy was the greatest video game ever invented, and it's a math game, which is really funny that the kids love it that much when they're just practicing math. It is a math gamified website for the kids to use, and you can go on there and assign certain standards to your students to be practicing, or you can not assign it and they can basically, I think how it works is they take an assessment on there and then it kind of groups them to where they need to, or like what they should be working on, and then it'll slowly like get harder and harder once they are passing through things. Like I know I had a student last year who had passed all the way through to the point where he was multiplying like decimals or something, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a little too hard. And so he wanted my help, and I'm like, well, it would be kind of pointless for me to help you on this because it's stuff that you don't know. So you almost want to get it wrong so that it'll start giving you stuff that's like more at your level. But anyway, but yeah, it is a gamified website and the kids absolutely love it. It is a free website, but the kids can also do the paid version of it. I know I have a few students whose parents have gone on there and paid their membership for it. I honestly couldn't tell you anything that's different about it. I want to say that they get like different animals or something that they get to have with them. I don't even know. I don't really pay attention, but it is really cool because you can assign, you know, specific standards that you're working on in class, and you can also assign like test prep practice, I believe, and it'll kind of mimic tests that are like well known, like the SBAC and stuff like that. I've never used that feature of it because I'm in second grade and we're not a testing grade, but I do know that that's an option. I haven't looked into it all that much, but I do know that that's something that you could do. My fourth favorite website to use in the classroom is Google Classroom, and this is another one that I'm not going to go into super detail in it because I'm going to do a whole video on all the Google programs basically that I use with as a teacher. But Google Classroom allows you to assign things to students. They can work right from Google Classroom, and it'll open it up in, you know, a doc or a slide, whatever you have made, and then they can turn it in on there. It's just super user friendly. Like my second graders, I've had to do minimal amount of teaching how to use Google Classroom, and all of them are able to navigate their way through it, and there's no problem. You can also, like I do a lot of times, I send links on there, so I have a whole I call them like folders, but I think they're called topics, and so you can put things into topics, and I just have like a whole topic of class links, and so there's like different websites that they can access on there that we may use quite often, and they know to go on there to find the link for it, rather than me having to go on and like bookmark it on every kid's computer. That just kind of wastes my time, so I just put it on there. Or if we're going to be working on something that day, I would just really quickly send them the link on there, and then they're able to get to it and it's not a problem. That's also where I post my videos for different things, like I was saying that I use for Screencastify. I will post the videos onto there so they can access them. I have certain videos that they are supposed to watch like every single day. Like I have a sound, like a blend video that my lower reading group has to watch every single day to practice their blends as part of their centers. And so once again, I just have a topic of all their like center videos, and so they go on there and they're able to access them as well. I'm sure there's so many other things you could use Google Classroom for. In second grade, I don't use it like an extraordinary amount, and my kids don't have Chromes at home, but I would use it a lot more, I think, in older grades, and I would probably use it a lot more even if my kids had the Chromes to use at home. But I do use it a pretty good amount, and it's one of those websites that I just love. It's so easy, and it just doesn't take a lot of time to do. I also like that Google Classroom will sync with a lot of different websites, and so if you have all your kids in Google Classroom, a lot of websites are like kind of joining up with Google Classroom, and you can sync it, so then your kids automatically just get pushed over to the other website too. I can't even think of any. I want to say no, maybe not. I feel like Prodigy does that this year. I can't remember. Where you can sync it and then automatically they'll just get uploaded. I do believe coding is like that. If you go to code.org, you can upload your students automatically, and it's just, you know, one click of a button, and you don't have to type all your kids' names in, because it gets to be a lot when you have all these different websites that you want your kids using, but then you have to sit there and like sign all your kids up if it's not something that your district is like already using or something like that. So if it does sync with Google Classroom, it just makes your life that much easier. And my last website to use in the classroom is kind of a mixture of two websites, and it's because I'm talking about like the same aspect on both of them. So it is Class Dojo or Seesaw, and I'm not talking about Class Dojo, the behavior side of Class Dojo, which is also a complete favorite of mine, but that's for another time. But using the portfolio side of Class Dojo, and then that is what Seesaw is. So basically, I used Seesaw last year a little bit, and students are able to upload different things that they've worked on to basically create a portfolio, which is really awesome. You can connect parents, parents can see what they're doing. A lot of times I feel like, especially nowadays, we do a lot of stuff on the computer. We do a lot of stuff collaboratively, and work just doesn't go home. Or even if it does go home, I feel like my kids, I find it in the trash all the time. I find it on the floor, it gets lost, whatever the case may be, and I feel like parents aren't seeing what we are doing in class. So it's really cool for them to be able to go on there and just see different things that we've worked on. If we ever do a collaborative project, I have the kids take a picture of it so that their parents can see it, because it's not something they can both take home usually. And so the parents really like it. This year I use Class Dojo, but it's pretty much the same concept. I think the only difference between the Class Dojo stories and Seesaw is that other students can't see what other students post. So on Seesaw, other students can go on there and like see what someone posted and comment on it and stuff like that. Class Dojo, it is just like your stuff, and your parent can see it and you can see it and I can see it, but that's it. It's not like a class feed like Seesaw is. But in my situation, I didn't find myself using that feature of Seesaw all that much. I more like it so that each student has like a display of things that they've worked on, and then their parent can see it, and that's pretty much it. It would be a great thing to have open at an open house, to have like each computer open and each kid is able to kind of scroll through and show their parent, you know, what they've worked on. I also liked using Class Dojo this year simply because I already use Class Dojo for behavior. So it's something that my parents are already familiar with, and it wasn't an extra thing I had to get them to sign up for. I already had a hard enough time getting them to sign up for Class Dojo, so trying to get them to sign up for Class Dojo and then now Seesaw would have not been, you know, very successful. I would have had a lot of parents not on Seesaw, whereas on Class Dojo, every parent who has already signed up for behavior side of it will be able to see what their kid has done. So all you have to do for the Class Dojo side of it is the kids go to the website, and then I have the QR code just hung up in the room somewhere. If they scan the QR code, it'll pull up all the names of my class. They click on their name, and then it'll take them to their story page basically, and then they're able to take a picture. They're able to do like typing on there, like a journal entry kind of thing, and then I believe they can do video, and then they can also do, I want to say they can upload a document. I don't remember what else they can do on there. Oh, I think they can draw a picture. What is the sixth one? Oh, maybe the sixth one is just like, not video, but just like voice. Like, like a recording, I guess you would call it. I think that's all the things you can do on there. And those are the same 6 things that you can do on Seesaw as well. I haven't used Seesaw this year, so I'm sure that there's more features that have been added to Seesaw since last year. I looked at it a little bit this year, but it was just something that I didn't feel the need to use because I was able to figure out how to use Class Dojo. So I'm sure that there's more that has been added since last year. It's just stuff that I'm not sure of, but you can always go on there and kind of just play around with it. So those are my top 5 websites that I use in my classroom every day, for the most part, if not every week, and they're things that save my life all the time. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I would like to know in the comments down below, what is your favorite website that you use in your classroom? Because if it's something new, I would love to check it out. I love to find like new websites and new things to use in my classroom technology wise. So if you have any different websites, make sure you leave them down below so I can check them out and other people can check them out as well. If you haven't already followed me on Instagram, make sure you follow me over there as well. I'm trying to be better about posting on there because that is something that I've not been very good about this year, but I'm getting better. So it's at my 2nd grade life. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you can stay updated on my future videos. And if you haven't, once again, caught up with my daily vlogs, make sure you go check those out too. If you have any other ideas for technology-based videos that you would like to see, make sure you also leave those in a comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next tech video.